Yo, what's going on guys? Ian77 here. In today's video, we're going to be playing Midladder once again on my mini account. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the top 3 Midladder decks in Clash Royale. And most of the decks that I'm going to be showing you here in today's video are going to be pretty popular decks. Like, I know there are some good kind of like off-meta Midladder decks, but I'm going to be kind of showing you the more popular ones that probably a lot of you guys have leveled up. So, yeah, they still will be very good though. So, looks like in this first match, we're going to be up against Golem, and he's going to kind of waste his zap there for no reason, but he is going to go with minions, and he's going to take a lot of damage, but he does save his tower here, so, yeah, going to be interesting here. We just have to make sure we can actually defend here. We got quite a bit of damage on his tower, but we just have to make sure we have really good defense, and, for some reason, I've been playing Midladder, like, a decent amount over the past few days, trying to get some good games for a video and kind of like pushing up a little bit because I kind of let the account fall a bit down in trophies over the last couple weeks or so. But yeah, I've noticed that everyone has really high level cards in Midladder. Like, it feels, I don't know, it almost feels rigged. Like, not rigged as in they're matching me purposely with like certain people, but like it just feels like rigged that everyone's maxed out like the slow trophies. Like, I knew there's like a big over leveling problem in Midladder, but I've been facing like people with like level 10 or 11 king towers that have like maxed out E-barbs and maxed out hog riders and all of that stuff, which is I don't know, not the most fun thing ever. Even though sometimes the opponents play like super badly, they just have like such high level cards, like 5 levels higher, and it just doesn't really leave me any room to outplay them. But you know, I feel like if you guys are struggling in Midladder, you really have to make sure that you kind of focus on one deck. Like, even though maybe you guys feel kind of annoyed to be like stuck on one deck, you kind of have to do it to get through Midladder, I feel like. Unless you can just like max every deck with your mom's credit card. But you know, I feel like you kind of want to use like those magic cards and like book of books, or I mean like wild cards and book of books, like all those magic items. You kind of want to use all of them on just like one deck, so you can kind of like just like level it up super quickly and be able to play like one deck at like a good level in Midladder, so you're not like super you're not like at a super big disadvantage. Like, some of these players have like level 14 cards, as I was saying, so if you don't at least make sure to have decent level cards, it's going to be pretty hard to actually beat any of them. But we're going to win here in this match. This guy does have pretty decent levels, but still was a pretty easy win for us right here. Alright, hoping in the next match you're going to be up against this guy, and yeah, so I don't know if I really showed you guys the levels that I have right now, but basically my entire deck is like nearly tournament level standard. The only card that I have pretty high level is my log at level 12. Kind of just got a lot of legendary, you know, legendary, like, wild cards and stuff like that. So yeah, that's why it's higher level. But I think our hog rider is also level 10. But honestly, even though it seems like pretty good levels for this trophy range, I've been facing like pretty much people running like all level 14 stuff, so it does still feel quite under-leveled, at least compared to the players that I'm facing. And looks like this guy will be running Mega Knight here. I know Mega Knight did get a pretty big nerf recently, but honestly I've still been seeing just as much Mega Knight in Midladder. I guess people don't really care to switch it out, or maybe they haven't really been paying attention to the balance changes anyways. Alright, I'm not sure if we can activate King Tower here against this Mega Knight. Just gonna go with skeletons right here, but I think it is gonna die. Yeah, it will die before he had the chance to activate King Tower, so a little bit unfortunate there. One of the best ways to outplay your opponents with a deck like 2.6 is to get your King Tower activated, and okay, that cannon just got deleted. I was hoping the Prince wouldn't do enough damage to completely kill our cannon, so the Skeleton Bear would pop early, but it just got deleted because it was quite underleveled. He does have a level 13 Prince, so he's pretty much like 4 levels higher than most of our cards, so I'm gonna have to like make sure we distract it super well, otherwise it will be quite deadly to our tower. And I mean, the nice thing is that a lot of these players in Midladder don't really have a good win condition. Like, sometimes they have like balloon, sometimes they have fire, I mean sometimes they have like Hog Rider, and I'm gonna go with a Fireball right there on his Magic Archer, even though it is a little bit underleveled, it is still gonna kill it right there. But yeah, so as I was saying, like the Midladder players, like often they don't really have much of a win condition. Like sometimes they have like a win condition that is like not really good by itself. Like like sometimes people run like minor cycle decks. They always have like maybe like Golden Knight with it or something. That way they can still get damage with a couple different ways on the opponent's tower. But like a lot of these Midladder players don't really have any way to get damage. Like they'll be running like Hog Rider without like a Earthquake or a Quick Cycle, so you can always just use your building on it. So the nice thing is that even though sometimes it's pretty hard to break through and stuff, you always can defend quite well, I feel like. And I might be able to activate King Tower here against this Mega Knight, and yeah, do have to watch out for the Prince though. Just we'll go with the Log here on the Skelly Bear. Also gonna knock back the Prince and gonna knock back the Magic Archer, so yeah, really good defense here. King Tower is helping out a bit, made us not have to spend like an extra 2 elixir there on like a Log or an Ice Golem. And yeah, just gonna set up with an Ice Golem here in the back. The only thing we have to watch out for is that his Fireball does insta-kill our Musketeer since it is a little bit underleveled, so we have to be a little bit careful when we're defending. And yeah, he's gonna go with the Fireball here, so it's pretty much just giving him like free damage every time and completely killing our Musketeer. But I will just go with the Hog Rider here. He spent quite a lot, especially with the Magic Archer at the river, so he will go with the late Inferno Dragon, but he's going to allow our Hog to get a couple shots off on his tower. And just going to go with the Ice Golem here to protect our Musketeer. Don't really want to allow it to die, kind of just want to get as much value out of it as possible before it dies. And I will go with another Musketeer here, always making sure to go with the Musketeer. It's kind of like more towards the corner, that way they aren't in the same area as the cannon, so we can get like a super good Fireball off on us. And Hog will get another swing there, so I think we just need like a couple Logs and a Fireball. And yeah, so I'll just go with the Hog here just to be sure that we can finish him off. And now I'm going to go with the Fireball, and that should be a good game right here. Alright, so we're going to be switching to the next deck right now, and the second best deck for Midladder I think is going to be Expo. So I feel like Expo is actually like kind of quite underrated in Midladder. I feel like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like a lot of the players kind of underrate it and they think like it's so bad because there's like a lot of tanks or something in Midladder. But honestly, I haven't really seen too many bad matchups for Expo in Midladder. Like it does super well against like just random decks. I feel like I don't know, I feel like there's so many decks without like much of a win condition. Expo can do super well against those decks. Like you have Log for the Golem Barrel, you have like a Tesla for the balloons or like the Hogs, and you know, you have pretty much everything you need to beat most of the decks. The only really thing that could stop you is if your levels aren't high enough compared to your opponent. But one of the best things about like these decks that I'm sharing in today's video is that they're all really quite easy to level up. So I feel like a lot of you guys can probably run them in Midladder. So looks like in this match we're going to be up against a balloon deck, and yeah, there's a lot of random balloon decks, but the nice thing about Expo is that you do have Archers, Fireball, and Tesla, so you do have like a few different responses to balloons. So I don't know, it's kind of good to have like multiple responses to most like win conditions that your opponents could use, because you never know when they're just gonna like surprisingly kind of whip it out or something when you're not expecting it, because a lot of the time they have like double win conditions or just like really random stuff that you would never expect. And this guy is gonna have a level 14 miner here, and he's only level 10, so I feel like that's kind of magic items fault. Like I think ever since magic items came out, it became really easy to just like over level like 1 or 2 cards super easily, and looks like this guy did it with miner. So gonna be a little bit tricky right here. Miner is gonna like kind of just destroy our towers being level 14. No longer heals our towers, but I'm just gonna go with an Expo plus Tesla here, and you just go with the balloon there. So perfect timing on the Tesla, and balloon is gonna kind of get wrecked, but his log is higher level than our archers, so it is gonna kill our archers, but he does miss one of them. So looking pretty good here, but I'm honestly a little bit scared of these witches here, because the witch is so over leveled that our tower doesn't even one-shot the skeletons, which is kind of sad. And yeah, Tesla will pull the balloon. I did go with a little bit of a low Tesla, but since he didn't go with the balloon as far as possible in the corner, we were able to pull it still. And just gonna go with another Expo here. He's gonna go with the wizard and a baby dragon push at the bridge. Not really sure what he's expecting, and Expo is gonna get a lock on his tower, and this will probably be it here. It may seem like this guy isn't playing too well, but to be honest, a lot of mid-ladder players play like the way he's playing, so yeah, just gonna give him a little bit of DM, and this is kind of what you guys can expect in mid-ladder. They kind of just play really randomly. Alright, hopping in the next match, you're gonna be up against this guy, and yeah, so just gonna split archers here first play. He's gonna go with a Dart Goblin at the river, it looks like, so I feel like the best starting plays with most of these decks are pretty self-explanatory, but with Expo you can always like split archers, play a Ice Bird at the bridge, and just like log their tower, or like split skeletons. And okay, he's gonna go with the Mega Knight here, level 12 Mega Knight, so gonna be quite over leveled here, and I'm actually gonna have to fireball these bats. I could have went with the Ice Spirit, but I don't think it would have hit every single one of the bats, so might have been a little bit problematic. And yeah, just gonna counter his MK here. We'll get one shot just because of how over leveled it is, but yeah, looking pretty okay right here. We do have pretty good defenses against Mega Knight. Like with these cycle cards, we can always activate our King Tower against Mega Knights, and we do have like our own knight to kill his Mega Knight, and also like some Teslas to stack on the arena. So we do have a few options here, but honestly, Goblin Gang is so bad right now. I feel like guards are like so much better, but his Goblin Gang's like level 12 against our level 8 archers, so it's still gonna be a little bit deadly here. And I'm just gonna set up with another Expo here. I would say like it's a little bit over aggressive to be like setting up your Expos too often in mid ladder, because you never really know what they have, but I'm pretty sure I know that this guy's just gonna be running like some really random Mega Knight deck, and I don't really think he can punish us too much for being a little bit aggressive. And yeah, so we're gonna defend perfectly right there. Archers will just barely stay alive, and yeah, I mean, honestly, in mid-ladder, like, kind of what you have to realize when you're playing decks like Expo is that you can't always, like, always take your opponent's towers. Like, sometimes they're so over-leveled that their, defense is just so easy, so you can't really, expect to break through. But what you can do is just defend super well yourself, and that way they can't really have the chance to do any damage to you, and you can just win off of, like, tiebreaker and, like, cycling a few fireballs at the end of the game. So yeah, it's a pretty good strategy, and we're gonna block his Mega Knight with the Knight, but as you can see, like, his Mega Knight's just so over leveled that even though we're defending our Expos pretty perfectly to where we should be able to get like a good lock, it's not really happening just because of how much HP his Mega Knights have. And yeah, honestly, I'm just kind of gonna keep applying pressure with the Expos. I'm gonna go with another Expo here in the middle, and he'll go with the Mega Knight here. And Tesla is going to kind of finish off the bats. Also going to go with archers just to make sure that the bats die as quickly as possible. And I'm going to set up another Tesla here. Not really like over defending our Expo too much, just doing what we have to, like killing the Dart Goblin with the log, and just defending efficiently here and making sure that we can hopefully be a little bit better off in the next push. And unfortunately, he is able to like really keep up with us pretty well, even though he has such a slow cycle. Kind of just because his Mega Knights are staying on the board so long just due to their level, so not the best for us. But it looks like Expo will get a tiny lock right there. He does arrows, but Expo kind of did a few hundred damage before he was able to get the arrows down. And I'm just going to set up with another Expo here. He's going to kind of mess up the Dart Goblin, and just going to go with a Tesla here on the Knight. Just make sure that we DPS it down as quickly as possible. And alright, he is already back to another Mega Knight. He does have Knight and Mega Knight, so it is pretty hard to break through his deck. It just has so many tanks in it, but this is kind of what happens sometimes. It's kind of like a little bit of a stale game. Kind of just have to take like the log damage and just like make sure that we have good defense, but we can't really break through too much. We're kind of trying to apply a bit of pressure here with like our Expos and whatnot, but not really working out too well. I will go with the Expo opposite lane here, just so that he can't build up too big of a push here with his Mega Knight. Don't really want to give him a chance to possibly overwhelm us and stuff. So looks like he will take out our Expo in the right lane, but honestly it wasn't really ever my intention for that Expo to get any damage on his tower. I kind of just used it just that he couldn't really spend his elixir where he wanted to. And I'm gonna go with a fireball here. It is already getting like near the end of the game, so we do have fireball and log, and he does only have like arrows for direct damage, I think, or like arrows plus zap, so we can pretty easily outdo him in crown tower damage by spell cycle. So just gonna do that right here, and gonna set up with another pair of archers, and he's kind of just like spamming into us really aggressively at this point, but I think we pretty much won right here. Just have to be a little bit careful that those bats don't get any damage, and gonna finish off the night with a pair of archers, and that will be a good game here against an overleveled Mega Knight player. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy, and the third and final deck of the video is going to be Logbait. So I feel like a lot of you guys probably already know that Logbait is really strong in mid-ladder, and the main reason is that Inferno Tower just fits so well in the deck, and I feel like Inferno Tower is just like probably the best building in mid-ladder. It doesn't fit in every single deck, but in the decks that it fits in, Inferno Tower just gets like a crazy amount of value, because when you face like those level 14 Mega Knights or like level 14 giants or whatever, you really need like that super heavy DPS to really kill it a lot of the time. So I know I am a little bit lower in mid-ladder than some of you guys. Maybe I think a lot of you guys are probably like closer to 6,000 trophies, or maybe like between 6 to 7,000, but I feel like a lot of these decks that I'm showing here are still quite good, even if you're a little bit higher up than I am. And yeah, so in this version here, I'm going to be using Knight and Goblin Gang, but I feel like Valkyrie is also quite good over Knight. Really up to you guys which one you prefer, and honestly guards are definitely better than Goblin Gang, but I'm just showing Goblin Gang in today's video because I think a lot more of you guys have Goblin Gang leveled up, since it's more of like the OG version. So yeah, gonna get a bit of damage here with the Goblin Barrel, and Princess is gonna get a splash shot right there, so pretty good start right here. And Goblin Gang is only level 8 right now, so kind of gonna be a little bit more difficult here, and his Valkyrie is super high level as well, so just hoping we can actually stop it, and looks like we will flawlessly defend. And yeah, so you can also use E-Spirit over Ice Spirit if you face like a lot of spammy decks like with bats and stuff like that, but I feel like Ice Spirit is actually quite nice in the deck ever since the Ice Spirit buff. It just has like such a long freeze, but honestly I would recommend using Ice Spirit if you're underleveled in mid-ladder, but I would use E-Spirit if you're like equal level, because I feel like Ice Spirit is like so nice when you're under level to be able to like help you finish off those Hog Riders and like whatever other random stuff you end up facing. But when you're like pretty much even level, you don't really need that extra stun, so I feel like it kind of will be a little bit up to you guys. But alright, he is actually going to predict our Princess right there. Well, maybe not predict it, but he is going to kind of just like destroy it before he even got a chance to land on the board. But yeah, so he's gonna have like an overleveled Mega Knight right here, and he's gonna Goblin Barrel on our Inferno Tower. Never really seen that before, but as you can see, he does have a maxed out Goblin Barrel, like a pretty much maxed out Mega Knight, so you can see like how good the Inferno Tower is against the Mega Knights, kind of just like shredding it. And if we didn't have the Inferno Tower against these Mega Knights, honestly we would pretty much lose, because there's no real good way to stop it except of these Inferno Towers. And I'm gonna just rocket his Wizard. You don't really want to even deal with it. I could probably go with a Knight on his Wizard, but then I don't even think it would be enough just because of how overleveled his Wizard is. And yeah, I feel like Rocket's also quite good in mid-ladder too. It kills witches and wizards and all of that stuff pretty easily, even when it is quite underleveled like mine is. So I feel like it's pretty reliable for killing those units that you really need to get off of the board as soon as you can. And yeah, so we're looking pretty good here. I have a few hundred damage lead. Just going to set up an Inferno Tower here. Honestly, his Valkyries have so much HP just because of how overleveled they are, so don't even want to take a chance with that. And we can probably cycle back to another one if he decides to go in for the Mega Knight. And unfortunately, we kind of wasted that Princess there right into the Fire Mage shot, but still looking quite good right here. Just going to go with the Ice Spirit here on the Mega Knight. It is going to kind of reset the Inferno Tower, but it also made it so that our Inferno Tower stayed alive, and it is actually going to kill the E-Wiz, so yeah, looking pretty good right here. You have to be a little bit careful about the Wizard probably. Just going to set up an Inferno Tower here, just kind of body block for the Wizard, and going to use a log as well. And yeah, his level 14 Goblin Barrel is honestly so crazy. His Goblins one-shot my Goblins just because of how overleveled they are, but hopefully he can like save our log every time for his barrels right here. And just going to set up a rocket on his tower. He will build up quite a big push, I guess, right here, but Inferno Tower should pretty much wreck it, I think, as long as he doesn't like zap it or something. And yeah, so you can see, like, even though the Inferno Tower is so underleveled, it's still doing so much damage to his Mega Knights and stuff. Like, even if the Inferno Tower is underleveled, it still feels like a really good card in Midladder. And we're actually gonna get triple princesses here, so yeah, just trolling this guy with Logbait. And I hope we can even get quadruple princesses. Yeah, gonna get 4 princesses on the field, but right as we do, they all get logged away. But looks like that will be a good game. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!